welcome in everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. Welcome to Coast to Coast. I am your host today, and of course, we got StatGuy. What's up, buddy? Looks like you're muted, man.
It's been a while since we've been on a show, hasn't it?
Yeah. Got a couple of days off to start this week. Pags has been busy. I've been, having some weird power issues with the wind and rain that we had the first couple days of this week. So we are back. So here we are. We got Wen in the house. Got my mom in the house too. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And a lot has happened since we were on screen last. We had the passing of Larry Allen. And the thing that's crazy about that is he was only 52, right? And so we're seeing a lot of athletes that are passing away super early. Definitely raises some concerns as far as that is, but not going to linger on a downturn for sure. Justin Jefferson signs the biggest contract of a receiver ever. And of course, it's your team, so I'm curious what it is you feel about that. 4-year, $140 million, 110 guaranteed, signing $88.7 million.
Well, I'm just going to say he's worth every damn penny.
I mean he is.
You look at highest paid, he's now the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, passing Nick Bosa's contract that was signed a couple of years ago. There's also some clauses in his contract where if, let's just say that CeeDee Lamb or Jamar Chase sign an extension that ends up being more than Justin Jefferson's, there is a clause in his contract that as soon as somebody becomes more paid than he is, then he actually gets more money added to his deal.
Really? There's an escalator on it. Wow.
Yep. So he's pretty much setting the bar where he's the highest paid non-quarterback where, I don't think CeeDee Lamb is worth his kind of money. I don't think Jamar Chase is either. Jamar Chase will be closer than CeeDee Lamb in my opinion, but if any of those guys pass him in what his contract is, and he has that escalator clause where he could add more money onto it to still be the highest paid non-player or non-quarterback.
That is crazy. Yeah, I hadn't read that. That is very interesting. The thing that's funny is the way the league is today. It wouldn't surprise me if both those guys ended up with more. Although, I guess if the other teams understand that there is that escalator, maybe it doesn't matter, right? Because a lot of guys are like, I want to make more than that guy.
Jamar Chase, I think, has maybe the biggest argument to maybe get to that level versus, CeeDee Lamb has put up good numbers in Dallas. I'm not going to take that away from him, but there's nobody around that thinks CeeDee Lamb is a $30 million a year player. So if he thinks he's going to get that in Dallas, Jerry Jones is stupid enough to give it to him, but at the same time, he's got to be realistic.
No, I don't think you have to be realistic when you're in Dallas.
No, you don't.
When you're force-fed the 88 number, you know that they're full on behind you.
Yeah.
So I could see Jerry Jones giving him that money. Absolutely. I don't know that he can.
This was a deal. This was a deal that was a long time. He can, but it would be getting rid of Dak. That's the only way they'd be able to do it is if they would either restructure Dak's contract or move on from Dak, because I think Dak is making, $46 million this year or $48 million this year?
Yeah, and his cap hit's actually higher than that, as I recall. His cap hit is like 50, and then next year it's like almost 60, I think. But whether he's on the roster or not.
So that's the only way.
Yeah. No,
so this was a deal that was a long time coming. This was a deal that was a long time coming.
Oh, yeah. So the question really becomes then, is he content with the money? Because obviously it's going to be a weird quarterback situation for this coming season, right? You got Sam Darnold, who probably starts week 1, and then JJ comes in sometime during the year, right? So you're probably not
what I'm hearing, actually.
Really? They're going to full-on sit him all season?
Right now, obviously we're just in mini camp right now and things can change, but right now J.J. McCarthy is the third quarterback on the depth chart. He is behind Sam Darnold, and he's even behind Nick Mullins.
Really?
Main reason why, obviously, Nick Mullins has been in the system now for 3 years. He knows the offense, so you have that type of advantage where Sam Darnold is obviously the most talented quarterback in that room right now, but
Sure.
he's still learning a system. Granted, it's still part of the Kyle Shanahan tree, and he was in Kyle Shanahan's system last year, but it's a hybrid version of that Shanahan system, so it's still going to take him a little bit to get used to it, versus Nick Mullins is now in his third year in the system. He has 4 or 5 games under his belt where he's worked with Jefferson in the past, so they already have that connection, versus Kevin O'Connell's already said this, that his system that he has designed is the toughest system for rookie quarterbacks to learn. So they're not expecting McCarthy to have this system down pat come week one. They're not even expecting him to probably know this system inside and out until close to the end of the season. So at that point, you just sit him that first year, let him learn the entire system.
No, I mean, I'm with that. Really where I was going with this is you have this huge contract, right? And you are looking at it as you're obviously getting the touches, right? You're still the number one quarterback. And obviously you're going to be, because you just got crazy money. But how patient are you going to be as that receiver? Darnold, who knows what he's going to be, but, everything we've seen from him doesn't say, hey, I'm going to be, an all-pro out here. Mullins is Mullins, right? He knows the system, whatever, but not necessarily your franchise guy. But then say JJ gets the start at some point and underperforms, you're making top dollar, but at the end of the day, you also want to win, right? So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, because if any of these quarterbacks really underperform, does he stay happy through the course of his career, or does he want to find his way out year 3 if this isn't panning out?
I think he's going to be patient for at least a couple of years, because the way this is set up for Minnesota right now is they don't have to worry about paying a quarterback for 5 years, because J.J. McCarthy is now on that rookie deal for 5 years. So they're not going to have to worry about signing him to an extension that might cost $25-30 million a year. They already have Hawkinson signed to his extension. Jordan added 3-4 years, depending on if they pick up his option. Then they added all the defensive pieces that they extended to long-term contracts right now. Outside of Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson, they don't really have too many offensive players that are tied into long-term deals. And the ones they do are on kind of team-friendly deals. So with Jefferson being on this 4-year extension, when his extension technically is over, J.J. McCarthy will just be entering his final year of his rookie contract, so that Minnesota could turn right around, extend him again, and then the next offseason go and extend McCarthy. So they're in a position now where they can essentially give Jefferson 2 extensions before they even have to worry about extending McCarthy.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that. And Brad, we'll actually get to both of those questions here in probably about 15-20 minutes. Pags will be on. He's doing a interview at the moment, so he'll be on. And just because I don't want to hit that first question for sure until he's back, just because his reaction to it will be hilarious. And so I want to make sure that we include him on that, because there's no way Kenny Pickett gets the start. But we'll definitely jump further into that when Pags gets in.
I do have one more thing to say about Minnesota, though.
Yeah.
That it actually happened yesterday, and not a lot of people are talking about it, but I think it could be one of the sneakiest moves of the offseason, even though it wasn't even a move that they made. N'Keal Harry, who was a former first-round pick of the New England Patriots, has really kind of had what you would call a bust of a career so far, since he's becoming, outside of his rookie season, he really hasn't done much. Given his size, given his potential, Minnesota has moved N'Keal Harry to tight end.
Okay.
And with Hawkinson most likely missing the first 6 to 8 weeks, Josh Oliver, who was your backup tight end, is now going to have to be your number 1 tight end, moving N'Keal Harry to the number 2. But N'Keal Harry, given that he's 6'5", 230, he's kind of that athletic, kind of stretch the field tight end, where if all of a sudden he starts to look the way he looked his rookie season, that is an added weapon that Minnesota adds to their team that they're only paying $1 million to, because he was already on their roster last year.
Yeah. No, and as a tight end, I could see that. You know, underwhelming as a receiver, but I mean, based on his size, and he's fast enough to definitely make a linebacker look bad. So yeah, at tight end, he might really kind of show out.
And then you get Hawkinson back, and you can line him and Hawkinson up in double tight end sets.
Yeah, no, that'd be kind of amazing, actually. The question there is how good is he as a blocker then?
Hawkinson would be your blocking tight end, or you have Hawkinson or you have like Hawkinson and N'Keal Harry both on the field, and then you have Josh Oliver as your blocking tight end, or you use C.J. Ham, your fullback, as your blocker.
If you're doing like a 3 tight end set or something?
Yep.
I got you. Yeah, no, I could see that. Obviously, in that tight end room, he'd probably get taught how to block, right? Hawkinson can definitely teach him that. So,
and that's something that fits J.J. McCarthy, because J.J. McCarthy ran 2 tight end sets at Michigan. So that's kind of the reason why they're going with this move, because at Michigan he had his kind of possession tight end that's more of the blocker, which they're hoping N'Keal Harry can turn out to be, but then he also had his big play tight end, which is what Hawkinson is. So you make this move now, gives him a little bit of time to get used to it before McCarthy comes in.
No, I could see that. That could be a nice weapon for sure. And then, I mean, you know, when it comes to Darnold, he's been in enough different systems that I don't think it's really going to matter what they throw at him at this point.
No, not at all.
So, you know, it's funny because he really hasn't had great situations until last season, really. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like he was really playing or anything. But when you think of his previous stops, he wasn't set up for success. So, I mean, I think Darnold could be a better quarterback than what the film would show.
Yeah, I think he is. And like his rookie year with the Jets, I mean, the 17 touchdowns, 16 interceptions wasn't great. But he didn't play as bad as the numbers showed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He did a lot with very little his first year with the Jets. And he had Adam Gase. And Adam Gase has been known to kind of ruin a young quarterback, which I think after about 2 years, he pretty much ruined Sam Darnold at that point. Because you look at it in Carolina, too. The situation that he walked into in Carolina was a lose-lose situation for him. Because Carolina was terrible. But he was playing pretty well in Carolina. I like how you
see that in past tense, like they don't still suck.
Well, he's not there no more, so I don't have to use him in present tense with him anymore.
No,
but when when he was there though, he wasn't playing that bad in Carolina. If you actually look at I think he made 4 starts that year. The Carolina was 0-4, obviously, but when you look at his 4 starts that year, he had over 1,000 yards passing and 9 total touchdowns and only 3 turnovers. So it's not like he was playing bad in Carolina. They just I think he got hurt is why he ended up leaving the starting job, but they never even brought him back in. I'm just like, you were 0-4, I get it, but he wasn't playing that bad. Like, you should have inserted him back into that starting lineup instead of rolling with P.J. Walker and whoever else you rolled with the rest of the year.
You know, I think by that time they were already just like, you know what, we're gonna go get the number 1 pick,
and they traded it to Chicago.
Well, again, they don't do smart things, right? I mean, when you think of the Panthers over the last 2.5 years, right? They have 6 different head coaches. Because the last 2 seasons, they've fired a head coach midway through and had interim head coaches. They have a new head coach this year. And the year before that craziness started, they had a different head coach. So in the last, 3 years combined, you're looking at 6 total coaches. That is not a recipe for success.
And they got rid of their best players in DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Hey, there he is. How's your interview with Vanity Fair?
I tell you, it's everybody who was on right now. Definitely pay attention to us at CBS 3 at 4 and 5. What I thought was supposed to be live was not live. It was recorded. So
funny.
So perfect. It worked out perfect. I was like, all right, nice.
So we're actually at a transition spot, so that works out. You got Brad asking a question for you. Do you think Jalen Hurts starts or Kenny Pickett? A ridiculous question, really.
Who?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go with question number 2. The prediction for the Phillies versus the Mets in London. Pain. That's straight from Rocky 3.
Yep. I feel like that should be a sweep, really.
I agree. I think it's well. You know what? I don't necessarily know that. I think that they may win. They could win game 1, or like the Mets could actually win game 1. Just because it's traveling, it's different. This is a whole weirdo park. You know what I mean? Like
True.
I haven't even downloaded the map yet that I'm supposed to download. So, but it's been I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a great time. I think they're going to crush it. Actually, they're going to just crush it good.
Well, I mean, I would imagine. Let's see. What is the Mets right now? I know they're playing bad baseball.
I think 7 games under, 6 games under.
No, they're actually 5-5 in their last 10. So that's better than I would have imagined.
Yeah, well, but I mean, I think we took them 3-1. Out of the 4 games we played already.
I guess.
So I expect it to be, I think the way the Phillies are playing right now is just balls to the wall. You know what I mean? They're just killing it.
No, I mean the Phillies are. I mean, everything we've seen so far, it sure looks like it could be your year.
Well, it's got to start off. Let's see what happens once.
Still a lot left, no doubt.
Agreed.
Although the M's keep pushing along, 8-2 in their last 10.
I just said that, and as somehow, some way, I guess I was following them. I had to unfollow them on my sports app or score app. But 35-28. Although you did,
we did drop one to the A's yesterday.
Yep, which is and then you got game 3 of that series today. But obviously, going 8-2, that means you're winning series.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean they're playing good baseball. They definitely need to add a bat though. Like there's just no getting around it. They need somebody that can get consistent hits, because you can't lose to the A's 2-1. Like that's not a game you can lose. Don't get me wrong, the A's have actually had some decent pitching, but still.
Well, I mean, your team is meant to win low-scoring games.
Yep.
That was the one thing I was happiest about the Phillies this weekend, or this last 3 games specifically, was that they went up against a quality opponent, and they had to keep them under 3. It's like literally, it was like that was what we needed to happen, and they did. That's 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. Those are good games.
Oh, for sure.
So eking them out, especially they were down 1-0 until the 8th inning yesterday, not 2 days ago.
Yep.
And Bohm hits the home run. So.
Yeah, and I mean the Brewers are good. So I mean,
the Brewers.
Do you find that it's absolutely ridiculous that the Stanley Cup is not starting until 2 days from now?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
that's funny. I thought it was supposed to start.
No, I don't. Don't they always take a week off though?
No.
Oh.
This is a new thing now.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was starting.
I think NBA. Yeah, the NBA starts tonight, but yeah, the Stanley Cup.
Oh, that's why. I was getting confused with the NBA. I knew one of them started today.
Yeah, the NBA.
And then Then after that, they should be going back and forth. But it's going to be. They're going to be 2 games in to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
because it should be NBA, NHL, NBA, NHL, NBA, NHL. But no, the NBA is going to end faster.
Blame Canada,
Yeah, it's
as they
always
once
it's
as they
always
once
that
said on South,
weirdo country up there.
as they once said on South Park. Blame Canada.
I mean, at least Canada has a shot to do something they haven't done since '93, right? So,
No, they want win it, but they made the
Yeah.
Stanley Cup in the COVID year, but win it.
I was referring to winning it, but yeah, I don't think I would do well in the eating contest there, Brad.
So here's something that I wanted to talk about. All right, there are a couple of different sayings. I'm getting my pad out because. All right, besides suicide squeeze,
Okay.
I'm writing them down because and a sacrifice fly.
Mm-hmm.
What are baseball terms that people in England may not know?
Balk.
Yeah, Bach is a good one.
Okay.
Well, I guess the difference between a wild pitch and a pass ball.
Nope. It's got to be what the question's going to be is like I'm going to go up to someone, paint it up as the Philly sports guy from London, and I'm going to go, what do you think is a suicide squeeze?
I would say pass ball, because if someone's watching that on TV, they would think a pass ball and a wild pitch is the same thing. I would say pass ball over a wild pitch.
Passed ball.
Ground rule double.
That one's kind of self-explanatory. Maybe not how they get there, but what happens when it happens. I was going to say going some of the double play numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, so trying to ask them positions might be a little tough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I can't.
I guess, what's it mean when a base coach gives you a green light?
Gotcha. Double play, triple play. No, I don't. I'm trying to get like 5 of them, 5 terms. Like what? Like I'm trying to think of obscure.
I mean, a couple of those that Rob threw up there, frozen rope. That'd be a good one.
I wonder, like, what is your answer to that? What is a frozen rope?
A ball that doesn't travel more than 10 feet off the ground and gets to the wall in like 2
Yeah, I was going
seconds.
to say that is just
Anything that
doesn't drop, right? It's a frozen rope.
Anything that John Carlos Stanton hit when he was with the Marlins was a frozen rope when he made contact. Those home runs went about 480 feet, but they didn't get more than 15 feet off the ground. It was like a frozen rope just out of the park.
Let's see.
Is asking them what they think a strikeout is? I mean, do these people are going to have any idea about baseball?
I mean, that's a good question. I guess maybe I'm overthinking it. It could be very simple things. There is definitely that.
Yeah. What about a swim move? When a base runner goes in head first and as the tag comes, they kind of move that one arm to try to get around the tag.
Yeah, but they don't even say that on, broadcasting. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure out like things like a suicide squeeze is.
I got one. Can of corn.
Well, that's.
Yeah, Rob threw that up there too. Yeah.
What is a can of corn?
Easy fly ball, basically. Where
it just drops in the basket.
You just stick your glove up. You don't even have to move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much a routine fly ball where you can literally take like 1 or 2 steps and stick your glove up and you don't have to do anything. or you can sit down in the grass and it'll fall in your lap.
Exactly. Yeah, like some of these, like Rob, Inside the Park home run is literally just telling you what it is. I mean,
I like that one. Rec Room Sports. Which position is the hot corner?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Do you think they would know what a cycle is if they don't watch baseball enough?
I mean, if you're going that route, you could ask them what a bunt is because you don't ever see them anymore anyway.
Well, yeah, but being that baseball isn't played, I mean, it's played over there. But if you don't watch the game like we do you think they would know what a cycle is?
Sure.
Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, you could ask what it means when a batter is batting cleanup.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I mean, I guess if you're going with the idea that they're not necessarily watching a lot of baseball, you could ask them what a force out is.
You can even ask that for anybody because there's still people like older people that I'm not gonna say you guys are old, but like older people that are like in their like 40s, 50s, 60s that don't even know what a force out is sometimes. They know the concept of it, but they don't know, like, they think a force out is at first base because you don't have to take the guy at first base, or they think the force out can be at second place on a double play. There's a lot of people that don't realize you can have force outs at home plate.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
They're so used to the catcher having to make the catch and then make the take. A lot of people still don't realize there's a force out at every base at some point.
I mean, you could ask them what a perfect game is.
Yep. Oh, because we've had a couple of those the last couple of weeks. Ask them what an infield fly is, or the infield fly rule.
At the same time, you could ask them what infield interference means, because I'm not sure I understand now.
Yeah, they might have better answers.
You could ask them who Angel Hernandez is.
Yes. If they don't watch baseball, I bet they still know who that guy is.
So here are the ones that I have. This is
you could ask them what the rubber is.
What's a rubber?
That's exactly. But I think it'd be hilarious just for entertainment value.
Yeah, you're right. There we go. So now I have 11.
All right.
Suicide squeeze, sacrifice fly, balk, strikeout, hot corner, can of corn, passed ball, cleanup, sweep, and rubber.
What about pitch com?
What?
What about asking them what the pitch com is?
Pitch count?
Pitch com, like the pitch com system that the pitcher and the catchers use now instead of the signs.
I don't even know what the hell that was.
I was going to say, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Nope. I ain't asking that question.
You don't know what the pitch com is?
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying pitch com. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm thinking I'm like, what's that?
It's like it's pitch communication. It's the pitch communication system is what it is.
They got speakers now?
Yeah, so the catcher has like the little thing on like their shin guard on the very top. Some of them have it on the top of their glove, and each of these things come with buttons. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which stands for the pitch that you use. 1 being fastball, 2 being breaking ball, 3, 4, 5, whatever else you use. And then on the other side of it, it has locations. 1 being up and in, 2 being up down the middle, 3 being up away, 4 inner middle, whatever. 7, 8, 9 is the lower part of the zone, so you could hit 1, 6 would be fastball down the middle. 3, 9 would be breaking ball low and away. And then the pitcher has like a little earpiece that goes on the top of his head. So when the catcher pushes the button on his knee, it sends a signal to the pitcher and it'll say 1, 9, basically fastball low away.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know they were doing that. I mean, you could ask them what a grand slam is.
Right.
So,
yeah,
I think last year was the first year they started using that system because of the Astros when they did the trash cans and all that stuff. They got away from like the whole doing the finger things at second base because so many coaches now are paying people to basically look for those kind of things, look for like signs that the catchers use and try to pick that up. So now they just went with the whole radio communication thing now where you just push a button, it goes into the pitcher's hat and they can't hear it besides the pitcher.
Oh, since you're going to ask him what the rubber is, you might as well ask him what a switch hitter is. They're really going to have no idea what you're asking them about.
Yeah, exactly. All right, but I think I have enough there. The only other one that I saw, I like Dinger. Maybe Dinger.
Yep, Dinger's a good one.
Because these have to be, like, what I'm thinking of are common terms for us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually what would be a good one that is used in every game is what is scoring position?
Yeah.
That's an actual baseball term they use every game.
Scoring position.
Another one they use, which it's not used as much anymore because you don't have it a bloop and a blast.
I'm going to go with they're not going to know that.
Yeah. That's why you ask and find out if they do know. Because if someone does, then more props to them.
Yeah,
What does it mean to be a pinch hitter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pinch hitter, pinch runner, both.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can imagine that there's going to be a few people that I'm going to be able to get and be like, hey, I'm going to ask you these terms, and you're going to tell me what you think they are.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that should be entertaining.
I think it'd be great.
I just hope I can answer, like, what is a balk? It's when the pitcher steps off the mound in a funny way after engaging.
The thing that's funny is you can actually get one from the catcher, too.
Yeah. Catcher got a balk against the Cubs last night in the White Sox game.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What happened?
So when so it used to be like when the catcher like does the finger symbols. Now it's when the catcher pushes the button on his communications device and gets into the set position like he's about to catch the ball. Then he comes out of that set position to push the pitch comm again. That counts as a balk.
Why?
Because it disrupts basically. It's the same thing as like if the pitcher goes into the stretch and starts to come towards home plate and then stops himself. It's like a disruption of the timing is essentially what it is.
Well, and they also, like if you use, if I remember right, if a catcher uses other gear other than his glove to stop a ball, like if he pops his mask off and rather than using his glove to get the ball, he uses the mask, that can also advance the runners.
Yep. If you really want to play a fun game with the people in England, ask them how many different ways you can reach first base.
I mean, yeah.
What is that answer?
I think there's
8?
9. I think it's 9.
I thought it was 8. But
You have a hit. Because you have a hit by pitch, basically a swing and a miss, wild pitch.
Yep.
A balk.
Can't get to first by a balk.
Yeah, you can if it's ball 3. If it's ball 3 and the pitcher balks, you get a walk because it's a ball added to the batter.
Yeah, but that's not by balk. It's by walk.
Well, and now you have the pitch count violations now where you can get to first, which because I don't think it counts as a walk if it's a pitch clock violation on ball 3. I think it just goes down as to get the first.
No, I think it's got to be a walk. It would have to be going as a walk.
Or an error, maybe. Error.
I was going to say, I was thinking it would probably be
I think it's an error. I don't think it counts as a walk if a pitcher has a pitch count violation on ball 3. I think it goes towards an error.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
I feel like that one's a little too involved for
I don't know about that. I'm actually going to check it now because I don't believe that. When
Well, what? A drop strike 3 also, you can steal first.
Yep.
Right, well, that's a strikeout wild pitch, I thought.
Yeah. Fielder's choice to get on first base that way.
True.
Right. That was
Although, I mean, you may just
7. There
there
are
are 7 ways.
7. Hit, walk, error, fielder's choice, hit by pitch, drop third strike, defensive interference.
Oh
So
yeah,
that'd be
yeah,
catcher interference. Yeah, catcher
Yep.
interference. Yeah.
Yep.
It
I mean, you
says
may just ask them.
actually it says the answer usually given is 8. Base hit, walk, error, hits Batman, fielder's choice, defensive interference, drop third strike, and a pinch runner.
I mean, I guess technically you get there, right?
Oh yeah, because
You
if
start
you
there.
hit, if you hit a batter and that batter can't go to first, then it essentially becomes a pinch runner. And you go first.
I mean, okay. You might ask them some easier ones too, like how many players are on a roster.
It's tough to answer that question because for this trip there's extra.
Yeah. 'Cause I
Uh,
think it's 28.
yeah,
Right?
no, that's true. That's true.
Is it 20? Is it 28 for this one, James?
It is 28.
Yeah.
A cork bat. Yeah.
Hey
What is
now,
it?
Robert. Hey now, Robert. Let's not start the hostility in here.
I mean, I guess at that point, what is a spitball or a knuckleball?
Who is Trevor Bauer? Speaking of Trevor Bauer, he's got a workout today.
With
The Houston Astros.
they need all the help they can get.
I disagree. They can just go ahead and tank. That'd be fine.
I think he's got. I think he's got a workout with them today, and I believe I heard he's got a workout with the Giants on Sunday.
When is my flight? I'm getting questions about my flight. This is a tough day today. You know what I mean? I'm doing all my stuff. I am confirmed for the NHL draft, though.
Oh, sweet.
Yay! Where's that again?
The Sphere.
No, like what? Philly?
No, the Sphere in Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. Oh, duh. Sphere. Copycat.
Why? Who else did the draft there?
And when the draft was in Vegas, wasn't it there also?
No, the Sphere was not there yet.
Ooh, look at them getting all fancy schmancy.
Well, this is the last time they're going to have the NHL draft live.
Why?
So do you fly out Friday then?
No, I fly out at 7:30.
Oh, you fly out today?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
in
Okay.
a few minutes actually. So it's in 7 hours.
Hell yeah.
Is that series this weekend then? The one in England?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's right. It wouldn't be Friday because the series starts on Friday, right?
What starts on Friday?
The London games.
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Saturday.
it's only the 2 games set because of the travel.
Oh, okay.
They have the travel, and then they always have the day off when they get there just to get acclimated to the time change and all that stuff.
I got you.
And
But
then I
the
think they have
NHL
Monday off too.
So, sorry, I shouldn't be chewing while I'm on a podcast. I know, but so where am I going? I am going to be going to London. I leave today at 7:20 p.m. and I come back on the 12th. On the 14th, or I'm sorry, is it the 15th? Make sure of that.
15th would be a week from tomorrow, right?
Yes. So on the 15th, I am going to be in Baltimore for the Baltimore Orioles game.
Woo!
On the 27th to the 30th, I am going to be at Las Vegas for the NHL draft. And then I believe, and I'm not confirmed yet, or it's not confirmed to me as of yet, that I'm going to Chicago for the Cubs games,
I will see you there.
the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
I will see you there.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'll be there the
And-
3rd and the 4th, not the 2nd.
And then I am going to Pittsburgh on the 19th, 20th, and 21st. And then I'm going to Denver to go see Bush and Candlebox on August 1st. August 2nd, I will be in Seattle for that series.
Oh, yeah.
And then, with any luck, I will be going to LA to watch game 1 of that series.
Nice. That's a busy stretch, man.
Well, I'm gonna be at the Hall of Fame game.
So, I guess in that route, what are you dropping on plane tickets then? About like $8,000 at this point?
Well, just about, it seems.
Because Pittsburgh, he can drive. Baltimore, technically, you could drive.
Pittsburgh is a bus trip, actually. We're taking a bus out there. Although I probably will drive.
Baltimore, you could drive, couldn't you? That's like, what, 4 hours, right?
That's a bus trip as well. So, and that's a good bus trip. That's a good bus trip to join and drink so that you don't have to drive home.
Yeah.
That'll be my first time at Camden Yards.
Shitty area, but a nice field.
They cleaned up that whole thing.
No, is it a night? Nighttime, it's still not safe. Like, it's still not a good area of town. Are you going to a night game or a day game?
It's a day game, I think.
Okay, then you should be fine. Because if it was a night game, I would just tell you to be very careful. Because it is still a shitty part of town.
I mean, I feel like that can be true in most cities. Let's be honest. If you're here in Seattle, you're not hanging out in Sodo at midnight. You're probably just not doing that.
Well, there's parts. There's parts in Chicago, like where the Bulls play at the United Center. Unless there is a Bulls game, a Blackhawks game, or like some sort of concert at the United Center, they refuse to give you directions to that arena because of how dangerous it is over there.
Wow.
Because when I went to Chicago the first time, I wanted to go there and get the picture of the Michael Jordan statue that's out front, just because I was never at the United Center, and they flat out refused to give us directions because they even told us flat out, they're like, unless there's a game, we don't give people directions because you don't go there unless there's a game.
Wow. Crazy.
Okay.
Bet the food's good though. Chicago food is fantastic, and that's I don't know if I gotta check the dates because I think it might be the week that you're there for the Phillies Pegs. I think they have the Chicago Food Fair in downtown Chicago that week.
That's the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
I think it's the week of the
July
4th that they have this. I think it's the week of the 4th.
Do they dye the river like red, white, and blue?
No, they only do that for St. Patty's. They just green.
Oh.
And then if the Bulls make the playoffs or the Blackhawks or the Bears, they dye the river red for the Bulls and Blackhawks, and then they'll dye it kind of that burnt orange for the Bears if they make the playoffs.
Right on.
Good for them.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen too often.
You have to dodge the fentanyl zombies. That is very true.
Yeah, if you like to eat, spend the $50 and go downtown and to that food fair if it is going on when you're there.
Yeah, I saw this at 52 years old.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I have to say about that. Yeah. Yeah, 52 years old. That's really young.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I know he was a big guy, and I know that he had, as we're getting our new sponsor, Goldfish.
That's right. Brought to you by Pepperidge Farm.
Brought to you by the milk carton of Goldfish.
Right.
Exactly.
I feel like you got to do it right. Just like open the thing and be like.
Did you get that at Costco?
No, I normally would get it at BJ's, but I also they sell this at Walmart.
Okay, yeah, we get ours at Costco for the kids for like their lunches and stuff. We just get the big old milk carton thing for like $7, $8 and be like, here you go, this will last you a month.
And I did a commercial for them one time, as the Flyers guy, and I said, I sat there like this. I may not always look like Nemo, but when I do, I eat goldfish.
That's awesome.
Give you free goldfish. They should give you free goldfish for life.
They didn't give me nothing.
They give you free goldfish for that.
That's where they give you the pat on the ass thing for showing up.
I tell you what, though, not for nothing. So I don't know if you guys saw the videos I did this weekend, but I had one video where I slammed. I did one of those. I don't know when you put a hole in a
Oh,
can
beer
and
bong, yeah.
yeah, and no, not a bong, but like you put the hole in the can and then open the can up and
Oh,
Oh, okay.
shotgun, shotgun,
Yeah,
shotgun.
shotgun. That's it.
supercharging, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Shotgun. So I did a shotgun of Sea Isle iced tea and slammed it down before like 4 other guys did theirs. So I was like, done. Yeah. And they loved it. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff. So thank you out to Sea Isle Spike Tea. You know what I mean? They gave me like 5 cases of Sea Isle Spike Tea, man. I drink that stuff. So I that definitely will not go to waste at all.
Nice.
Yeah, so they took care of me.
Right on.
Yeah, I hear you, Paul. The weekend can't come any faster.
Yep.
Yep. Mary knows me and my goldfish. I'm a goldfish fan.
No, they're good. They're good. It's that's one of those impulse buys for me. It'll be the out of sight, out of mind, and then I'll walk by it and I'm like, ooh.
Nah,
That
the,
or
the, impu-
Cheez-Its. Like I love me some Cheez-Its.
the impulse buy for me is the 5-pound bag of gummy bears that lasts me a weekend, and then I got to go buy another
Oh
one.
yeah. That is that Costco buy right there.
Yep, the Albanese 5-pound bag for like $7.98. When you actually go to the actual Albanese shop, that same size bag is $21. I'm like, yep, here's my impulse buy. Weekend's over. I gotta get another one.
Yeah, I'll do
Thank
that
you for
with,
checking in over at Belgium. Thank you very much for checking in.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Yeah, unfortunately, I will not be able to travel around Europe, but I'm going to be back over to Belgium sometime soon. I've been there before, so I'll definitely come back again. And I didn't correct her. Or I didn't get corrected. She just didn't want me to tell everybody her real age.
Oh, shush.
So funny thing about that.
Red vines are
We
good.
had
too.
our conversation where my wife checked in, right, about the birthday party. And so that exact thing came up. She's like, why did you tell people my age? I'm like, I mean, I don't think anybody cares. Also, they don't know who you are. So
Right.
I didn't get any pictures.
I didn't take any pictures. Yeah. So there's that. It didn't get crazy. I was a little disappointed. I was expecting some dumb stuff to happen, and relatively chill overall. I mean, they got drunk and everything, but they didn't get as crazy as normal. So
Got it. Okay.
The other big candy I will buy is Sour Patch Kids. I will buy that big bag because I do love me some sour candy.
Are you going original, or are you going red, white, and blue?
Original or the watermelon ones.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you throw those in the freezer. Pretty rad.
Yep. And they are
Sour Patch Kids in the freezer.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
If you really want to get creative, it's not easy to do all the time, but you take them and you put them in a cup and you melt them in the microwave and then you put them in the freezer. They make amazing freezer treats.
That's a date. That is a date. I am big on Belgian beers. I am a Chimay fan, which comes direct. They say it comes directly from Belgium. I'm a triple guy. I like Chimay Blue. That's like my thing there. So Belgian wheats and Belgian triples are like right up my alley. So I would love to go do a beer tour of Belgium.
I am 100% coming on that trip.
That would be an amazing trip.
If we could get Expedia or somebody to sponsor that.
Exactly.
Buffalo
Wild Wings.
Yeah, absolutely. How's it going, Raph?
Raph, good to see you. Good and plenty. Not really.
No.
Not a good and plenty. I am not a licorice guy, a black licorice guy. I had a black licorice thing for half a second when I was doing Sambuca, but no, we can't do it anymore. I would love to go to those monasteries. You know,
Yeah.
as I eat more goldfish. All this beer talking is making me hungry.
I mean, it just kind of makes me want some wings and beer. Let's do this thing.
Mom wants to go on the trip too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be hilarious. Let's do this thing.
Exactly. You bring the buffalo wings.
Let's go. Don't threaten me with a good time.
We'll see. Let's. Really, the Lakers are looking to get the.
Probably Hurley.
Oh, I thought maybe the girls coach.
No, so I don't even know what happened in that. Last week they said they were all in on JJ Redick. Like, it literally made it seem like JJ Redick was their guy, and they just were waiting to hire him, and all of a sudden they're saying they're all in on the UConn head coach. So I don't know what when Redick interviewed and whatever happened.
He's a robot.
Just the way he said it is exactly the way I think about it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to matter who's coaching the Lakers. They're going to lose.
No, that's for sure. Redick did sound like when they were talking about it last week, Redick definitely sounded like it was just a formality that he had to fill out paperwork. So the fact that other names are starting
he was the only one that got 2 interviews.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He was the only one that got 2 interviews. That's why I'm wondering if it's all of a sudden because of money or if it's something else, or all of a sudden maybe Hurley's like, well, I'll be interested to test the waters, because they even said prior to the whole hiring process that Coach K was involved in the hiring. Well, obviously JJ Redick played for Coach K. So the fact that you got 2 interviews out of that, they must have loved what JJ Redick said. Otherwise, you don't give the guy 2 interviews.
Yeah.
But then again, Hurley also played for Coach K. So
there you go.
So since we're talking about basketball, I guess, how do you guys think the finals will go? Who do you got winning?
Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man, I don't know.
I'm going Dallas in 7.
That's actually the way I'm leaning.
This is the first series that Boston is going to have where one of the big stars is not hurt.
And you're going to have to rely on Tatum to not have 1 or 2 games where he just disappears.
Yep. Because if you look at their playoff run so far, Tyrese Halliburton was out the second half of the Pacers series. Julius Randle was out that entire series against Boston. And then who did Boston play in the first round?
Randle was out in the first series.
Yeah. But then Joel Embiid wasn't healthy when they played him in the first. No, Joel Embiid had the Knicks. Who the hell? Was it Miami? Yeah, no Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
So every series that Boston has had, the star player for who they've faced has been out.
Yep.
Now you have 2, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. And Kyrie Irving has a chance to go back to Boston for revenge.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this is a 7 game where Dallas pulls it off. And mostly because I don't think that Tatum will be consistent the whole time. Just because we haven't seen it. I could be wrong. Maybe they pull it off, but
I think it goes 6 games either way.
I made a $50 bet that it won't go 7 games.
Okay.
I don't care who wins or loses.
Oh, it's just that it goes 6 or less.
That it goes 6 or less.
Okay. What's the
I can see
pay on that? What was the line?
$50.
No. I mean,
I made a bet with somebody.
Okay. I thought you meant like you went to a sports book and made it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, like what was the line on that? Like what?
Yeah, the $50. It was they took. Oh, wait, it's going to go to game 7. I'm like, no, it's not. And they're like, okay, well, let's bet $50. And I was like, okay.
I mean, the odds are on your side, right?
And the only reason why I'm leaning towards Dallas is because of their record on the road in the playoffs so far. They have one road loss in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, the only reason I'm leaning that way is Tatum. I think the game. I think he's going to have at least 2 games where he just doesn't show up or falls off at the end, and I think that ultimately becomes the difference.
And I think it's because Luke has been the best player in the playoffs since it started.
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem I have is that they both took a week and a half off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to be rusty. Like that first game is going to be kind of ugly, I think.
The first
79-72 game.
First game's going to be a classic Jason Kidd style game back from when he was playing in the 90s. 80-80, all ugly shooting and defense.
Yep.
That's what I got. 79-72. Actually, I feel like them both being rusty, if they're both rusty, Boston's got the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. They're more athletic.
And then I think that what'll happen is that that Boston's going to wind up taking the first 2 games. Dallas is not going to be able to recover.
I got you. So, Chris, there's not a lot to talk about there. I mean, they are.
I was going to wait until after the break because I am going to bring this up because yes, it seems like if there's anything to talk about, it is women's basketball for some reason. That everybody's.
I agree. We can do it after the break, no problem. Because I mean, they're playing her tough. Yeah. They're playing all the rookies tough.
Before we get to the break, did you guys see the name selections for the Utah hockey team came out today?
No.
So the top 6 names came out today. You have the Utah Yeti, the Utah Outlaws, the Utah Venom, the Utah Mammoth, and then there's 2 other ones that they have not listed.
The Yeti, no.
Yeah, exactly. The Mammoth, maybe.
Mammoth sounds cool.
The Outlaws, I get. You know, the Venom, no.
Yeah.
I think Blizzard was another one.
Utah Blizzard.
I mean, it's base of the Rockies, I guess. Yeah.
I like the Mammoth. I wouldn't mind the Yeti other than it's ridiculous. Like, no, we're not the Yeti. I'm a big fan of names without S's.
Yeah, okay. Utah Mammoth.
Right. I like not the Mammoths. Mammoth.
Yeah, there's only one. There's one Mammoth.
Isn't
Mammoth plural?
No, it's Utah Mammoth. So it's the
Venom,
the Yeti, the Mammoth. No, without the S. The only one that has the S is the Outlaws.
Right. And the Outlaws aren't so bad.
No. Yeah, that's not terrible.
The Blizzard's not too bad either. I like that. The Utah Blizzard.
Yeah. I mean, the logo for the Outlaws could be cool, right?
The logo for the Yeti and the Mammoth could be cool. You can do a lot with that. You can do a lot with that.
Yeah. How about just the saber-toothed tigers? The Utah dinosaurs.
I mean, I think
I was just about to say that the Utah prehistoric creatures.
So, well, being at the top of the hour, that's a great segue because those names all sucked.
Right.
We'll be back after these commercial messages, so please stay tuned so that we could talk to you about women's sports in general. I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready. I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, from Brooklyn. Hey, isn't he?
Trisha's having a sleepover tonight. Can I go?
I wonder about Lucy's friends. What should I say? I know you're only 10, but one of these days a friend will offer you a drink. And alcohol at your age can lead to so many things. None of them good.
So can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me
I
something.
finished my homework.
Bigger promise. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you. Your real friends won't care. Deal?
Sure.
Really?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov, a public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Sometimes, all you need to change your life is a sign. A sign that says, "Hank, this is the place you've been looking for." And sometimes that sign is an actual sign that's mounted to a building. One second, I'm looking at a sign. I know what you're thinking, and no, I don't love B-dubs just because I'm a buffalo with wings. Frankly, that's offensive and reductionist. Cause this place, come on. It's like they took beer and made it into a place and then gave that place sports and chicken wings. And the people, Cuba, the best. Oh! What the is going on, Marty? This isn't a game, this is trivia! Yeah, this place is kind of like heaven. You know, without needing to get hit by a bus. Let's go, sports bar!
Supporting the needs of our veterans. That's the goal of all of us at Team AmVets. Like Mitch, Carlos, and Kevin from our Welcome Home team that brings furniture to our vets.
We are Team AmVets.
Or Linda from our thrift stores who brings you great bargains every day.
I am Team AmVets.
And John, who picks up your thrift store donations that support California veterans programs.
I am Team AmVets.
Visit our website or Team AmVets thrift store to donate or shop today.
Join the team!
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
So I like this one. Utah Dinos, but if you do it Utah Dinos, you have the Flintstones dinosaur in there. I think it'd be hilarious.
or you got the Utah Mormons.
Yeah, exactly.
You can call them the Utah Sister Wives.
That's right, the polygamists.
I wonder if that would really fly.
Definitely not. 0 days ever does that get approved.
Somebody's feelings would absolutely get hurt, I'm sure.
Just call them the Utah NHL team.
The Utah hockey team.
Yes.
The Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah, probably that.
They do that for all the soccer teams now. St. Louis City SC, Charlotte FC, San Diego FC. Like, can we just start getting names back into these teams? Fine, just keep it the Utah NHL team.
Well, the Philadelphia Union Football Club.
Yeah.
Well, I know, man. If you look at a lot of the expansion teams that have come in, though, you have Nashville SC, FC Cincinnati, Miami SC, Atlanta FC, Charlotte SC, St. Louis City SC. It's like, okay, we can add names now. Let's get a little bit creative here.
No one can be mad if you don't. No one can be mad if you just name it after the city.
Right. Yeah, we are the Tennessee Tens.
Okay, well, I guess you're right because Indianapolis is the Indy 11.
The 11?
Because you have 11 men on the pitch. The Indy 11.
Wow.
Indiana 11.
No, it's the Indy 11. It's literally the Indy 11. INDY for Indianapolis.
Wow.
Okay. Hey, well.
Their logo is pretty sick, though. I will give them that, but the name is stupid.
Yeah, the name is
horrible. Ones?
No, it's like it's a statue of something, and it's got like a red flag in the background. And he's got two swords that make the 11. So the logo itself is pretty cool. Just the team name is dumb.
That's fair.
Got it. Well, any other names that you think of for the Utah whoever? Right
Utah
now, the
Canyon.
Utah Coyotes.
Utah Canyons.
I don't know about that one.
There's a lot of canyons in Utah.
The Utah Slopes.
You could do that.
Can't call them slants. Can't call them the slants. That might be something that would be looked at derogatory towards Asians.
That's right. That would not go well.
That's why I say the slopes may not do it either.
That would definitely have the worst logo ever.
the Utah Slopes?
Yeah.
Would have a mountain range?
Yeah, right? Like you're just like, or it's got a chairlift.
The Utah Rockies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's played
There-
out.
There was a cool name that they got rid of. I'm upset that they got rid of it because I thought that was the best one. I'm gonna see if I can find it quick. They had like a list of like 13 names at the beginning of it, and then they narrowed it down to the 6 that we just said.
Oh, they got rid of the ones that were actually good?
Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense.
it was great names too.
Like the Utah Big Macs. The Whoppers, you know what I mean? They got their sponsorship from,
So they had 20 names at the start. Utah Fury was one of them.
What are we drinking? What do we got?
Oh, this is just root beer.
So yeah, these are the names they got rid of. The Utah Black Diamonds, which that made no sense.
No, it does.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The Utah Caribou. The Utah Swarm. The Utah Swarm. The Utah Ice. The Utah Ice.
Wow.
Utah Fury. Utah Blast. Utah Frost and the Utah Squall were the ones they got rid of.
Those are pretty terrible, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Utah Mountaineers was the other one that I thought might stick.
That one you could make a case for.
That one I thought might stick.
Utah
I didn't think the Utah Frost sounded that bad because you could do a lot with that logo, and you could do a lot with the team colors on that.
Not really.
Yeah.
It's you're stuck in blue there.
Blue, purple, and white.
I got
Coming from the Vikings guy, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. I'm thinking like the Utah Salty Sailors.
Utah Salty Sailors.
Well, it's the Salt Lake up there.
Yep.
You know that's what I said. The Salty Sailors.
Call them the Utah Polar Bears.
Seeing that they don't have many polar bears there,
that's just a name that someone threw out there too. That didn't even make it. That didn't even make it past the top 20.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because somebody went and bought all of the rights to all those ones too.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You got that guy in D.C. That's what he did. She's like, hold on, Utah's got a new team. Let me go get the rights for all of these different names.
Yep. Then they have to buy it from me.
Just call them the Utah Triple X. I don't know
how many kids they have.
But so before we went to the break, we started to talk about things that could turn real bad. The Salty Sailor could turn real bad real quick. I don't know.
They could be called the Utah Storm.
I like Blizzard better.
Yeah,
I do too.
So,
I still think the Mammoths so far out of all those.
I think it's going to come down. If I had to choose, I think it's going to come between the Yeti and the Mammoth at the end. I think those will be the two that they're looking to go with.
I mean, if those are the two you're choosing from, the Yeti shouldn't win.
No, they shouldn't win. But I'm just looking at it in terms of like a marketing standpoint, like what you can do with the logo, what you can do with like the words in it to make it stand out. I think those two make the most sense because you can do the most with it as like.
Yeah, but isn't there a brand already called Yeti? And doesn't that got to get thought of here in the middle of that?
I mean, it's a cooler, so
It's a cooler.
Not really. It's a cooler. It's a NHL team.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is preserving
You
the
wanna-
ice, right?
You could get Yeti to be your sponsor, because all the NHL jerseys have a freaking name brand on the shoulder pads, and I'll just get Yeti to be your sponsor.
I mean, I don't even think you have to at that point. Your name's already on it.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah, the Utah Arctic.
Who needs the big Gatorade bath when you can just have a giant Yeti cooler on the bench?
I mean, at least their drinks would stay cold.
Right?
Those coolers are great. Shout out to Yeti.
Well, at least they're not going to call themselves the Utes. The Utah Utes.
I mean, you never know.
But
the Utah natives.
You can call them the Condors. I think they have condors over there.
Yeah.
Albatross or whatever. Yeah. Now I'm just coming up with different names.
But if trademark on them, make money
That's
off
right,
of it.
all of them.
So, anyways, the reason why I even wanted to bring up women's basketball is because right now there is this push on TikTok, and I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but there are a lot of women talking out against the other women.
Oh, yeah.
There has been a lot of videos that these women have gone on diatribes. Like, it's like, I can't stand listening to them for longer than 45 seconds, because after 45 seconds, it starts to just like, how much longer do I have to watch this video? Okay, I'm not watching it anymore. I have to scroll away. But they are really going after the league.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, listen, yeah, I know that these girls are getting beat up bad, and
they are. But the thing is it's physical basketball. It actually reminds me a lot of when I enjoyed watching basketball. Now, some of these shots are clearly flagrant fouls, which they got flagrants for, right?
Mm-hmm.
That aren't basketball moves. But a lot of it is these ladies, get down and beat each other up a little bit. It's physical basketball. I actually kind of enjoy that. I'm not a big fan of where the NBA is, where everybody flops and cries and goes to the line every 5 seconds. So I appreciate a little more physical brand of basketball. Again, if you're throwing someone down by their neck or you're just blasting somebody away from the ball, obviously those aren't basketball moves. You don't want to see that stuff. But if they're beating each other up down low, getting in to make a shot, I have no problem with that at all.
I hear you, but a lot of it's not basketball play.
No,
Sure.
I never liked Angel Reese to begin with, and this, if you listen to her press conference the other day, this is exactly why I cannot stand her.
Yeah.
Trying to say people are watching women's basketball because of me, because I was in the championship game. No, they are not watching women's basketball because of you. It's because of the person that's getting the ever-living shit kicked out of her right now.
Well, Reese has actually gotten beat up pretty solidly too, but I would say she is bringing eyes not to the same degree that Caitlin Clark is.
Yeah.
But her involvement in that championship game definitely increased the viewership a little bit.
Nope. I disagree with you now.
Okay.
So I was watching Pat McAfee the other day, and he was saying, oh, well, let's talk about the big three. The big three. You got Caitlin Clark. You have who's the real tall chick?
Yeah,
Brink, and then Angel Reese.
Yep.
And they were saying, oh, let's see how these games are doing here. Every situation showed that everything is going towards Caitlin Clark and nothing anything else.
No, I agree with that. What I was meaning by it is people were watching. So going back into college, right? People were watching. Caitlin Clark was absolutely killing it, right? And then through the playoffs, she dropped like a 31-point game and then two 41-point games in a row, right? like absolutely killing it. Then you get in, and she's doing the no one can see me thing and all of this, right? So then that national championship comes, and they meet LSU. Angel Reese gets in her face, all of that, right? All that goes down. And it elevated the intrigue, right? Because now you had somebody that was the, kind of the anti-hero in this story, right? So everybody's still watching for Caitlin Clark, but now you have this other character that helps build the story with it. And then you got an entire another season of that story to keep building. And then you quickly go from that championship game. Now, obviously, Reese wasn't in that one, but you go from that championship game straight into the draft, straight into the season. So although she's not driving numbers the way Clark is, because obviously Clark, reset records and all kinds of stuff, but it gives you almost someone to root against, right? Which does help the storyline.
Well, let's go back to that game 2 years ago.
Sure.
How well did Angel play that game?
She had an okay game.
Yeah. She wasn't even that good. She was nowhere near the best player even on the court. No. Actually, her doing that finger thing, all it did was make sure she got drafted. That's all it did. That elevated her draft status. That's it. She's not that good of a player, actually.
No, she's really. I mean,
she's a good defensive.
I think what I would compare her to, and you guys can disagree with me on the comparison, but I think she's like a Joakim Noah, where she's going to get you 10 points, close to 10 rebounds, and around 5, 6, 7 assists per game. Because Joakim Noah was an amazing college basketball player. And the reason why he upped his draft status was because he won 2 straight national titles with Florida to become a top 10 pick. But once he got in the NBA, he wasn't an all-star. He was a very good player, a very good defensive player, but that was about it. You could say the same thing with Angel Reese. She got to the national championship and won to elevate her draft stock, but she's not going to be like that elite scorer. She's going to be a very good player and an outstanding defensive player, but she's not going to be that one player that you can count on to take over a game.
No, that's exactly what she is. She's a good defensive player. She's a good rebounder. And her offense is okay.
And she's very jealous of Caitlin.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I would agree with that. I'm just saying it elevates it because there is that storyline that is contradictory to Caitlin Clark, right? So it gives you that hero villain element to it.
Yeah.
Which helps.
Except she's not a villain.
No,
she's
but
not a villain.
It's the way that the media spins it, but it does help drive a storyline.
Yeah, it's not even spinning that way. Now she just looks like an entitled bitch.
Yeah, and the thing is, she always has been though, because before she got to LSU, when she was at Maryland, she was looked at as a thug when she was at Maryland, because she came into Maryland with the "I'm better than you" attitude, and you're not going to be better than me. And she played like complete shit at Maryland. She got humbled. She got humbled real quick in Maryland, and ended up going to LSU. So like the way she's acting, she's acted this way her entire college career. So it's not surprising that she's continuing it, but she needs to start humbling herself, because you won the national championship over Iowa. You didn't win the national championship over Caitlin Clark. You won it over Iowa. Caitlin Clark outplayed you in that game. Caitlin Clark then had a better year than you did this year in college. Caitlin Clark got more viewership than you did even after you won the national championship. You're just more so mad that Caitlin Clark stole the spotlight from you, even though your team won the national championship.
And you are really, first off, figure out those eyelashes a lot differently. Didn't somebody tell you that looks like ass? It looks like straight ass. This is my opinion.
And then even like 2 weeks after getting drafted, Angel Reese is skipping practices. She attended a event at the gala in New York City for what, I don't even know what the hell that is. I guess it's unimportant.
They're a 2-win team, right?
Yeah, 2 or 3
I feel like
wins.
you shouldn't be skipping practice.
Like I don't know what the gala is. I've heard of it. I just don't know what it is. But I guess it's a big event that happens in New York City. But she literally skipped 2 team practices to go to these events at the gala, and then they questioned her pregame the next day. She's like, "I went to the gala. I slayed at the gala. I came back to the New York game and I slayed at the New York game."
Yeah, you're talking about the Met Gala. There was a lot of people there though.
I know, but I'm just like, you're a rookie that's been in the league for less than a month. you have no business skipping your team's practices right now.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's one of those where you capitalize while you can, right? Because if you're not the Caitlin Clark that's going to have a, potential Hall of Fame career or whatever, if you're going to be a above average probably player, I don't know. You take those advantages while you can, because they may not come later.
Well, even if you do, though, you don't come out and say what she said, though.
I'm beginning to understand now. I'm beginning to understand. Bo is actually a fan of Angel Reese.
No, I'm saying get your money.
I'm good with that, like getting your money. But like at some point, you need to just stop running your mouth. Like she makes herself look so much worse by the comments she makes when she just keeps running her mouth.
Yeah, I agree. She shouldn't have missed any kind of practice because that team is not good. But to be fair, both of those teams, I guess, they were drafting high because they're not good teams. So,
and the thing with Angel Reese too is she did the same thing Caitlin Clark did with the whole ring finger, the you can't see me, things like that. So like, I wasn't necessarily mad when Angel Reese was doing it just because Caitlin Clark did it too.
Oh, of
what
course.
made it worse was when Caitlin Clark was trying to leave the floor to join her teammates after that game. Angel Reese kept getting in her face, doing the you can't see me and doing the ring thing. It's just like you win with class and you lose with class. Like Caitlin Clark just poured her heart out on that court for 40 minutes and lost, and you don't see her getting all cocky, even if she would have won. There's times even when she wins games, she would never get cocky. Like as soon as that 40 minutes was up, she'd be in line shaking hands and giving players hugs. She wouldn't go out of her way to do all this cockiness that she does when the game's going on.
No, I agree with that. Absolutely.
Well, all this going on, all that is saying is that it's only a matter of time before people stop watching women's basketball. It is the women that did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like I understand that they are jealous because of the attention this player is getting as a rookie and the attention that she's been getting for 4 years. But you should be thanking her ass for getting her the viewership you're getting. You should be thanking her ass for getting you these charter flights. You should be thanking
charter
her.
flight alone, just the charter flight alone.
You should be thanking her ass for everything that she's gotten you in the last 2 months, instead of hating on her and trying to make her life a living frickin' hell.
Yeah,
because Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, and all these like longtime WNBA veterans were trying to make her life a living hell before she was even drafted. By the comments they were sending her on Twitter, by all the things they were saying about her before they were drafted or before she was drafted, nobody even like took the time to recognize everything that she's brought to this sport. And now she gets all these players, charter flights, and all these things that they've never had before. You should be thanking her as opposed to trying to make her life a living hell.
Well, they're moving into bigger stadiums. I mean, like there's so many things that are aided by the success that she had. And it was funny because there are so many of those veterans that, especially the retired players, stuff like that, were talking bad about her. And it's like, why wouldn't you embrace somebody that has just reset all these records through college? Why wouldn't you jump on that wagon? Be like, hey, you're changing our sport. Like, we built this platform. And the idea is when you pave the way, the next people are supposed to be able to move past where you paved the way. Like, that's the whole idea. Not, hey, we paved the way, but we're going to just drop a roadblock here. And this is as far as we ever get to go. Like, that is not how that's supposed to work. So
and if she were to get hurt today, or if she would just randomly quit the WNBA and go play overseas, WNBA viewership would freaking plummet overnight.
Oh, no question. Yeah, and none of the other stars that have come in, whether it's Cardozo or Brink or none of them drive what Caitlin Clark has.
No.
Brink would be your closest one, only because she was, I think, third on the women's side in scoring over all time. So, I mean, it's not like she played bad. But there's an element to this that people pick who they pick, right? There is the there's the difference between stars and superstars, and the difference generally isn't gameplay. It's people rallying behind you, right? That can elevate you from the star to superstar status. Because when you look at a star and a superstar, stat-wise, they're generally very similar. But there's an element, that it factor that happens with those superstars where they command a crowd and they get so much more attention around the game, not just within the game. And that's something that Clark has that Brink doesn't appear to.
Well, the last comment that Paul put on there too, I kind of want him to elaborate on that a little bit when he says that he thinks Clark
to be
is
fair,
getting
Brink is also white.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want him to elaborate, like, what he means by Caitlin Clark is getting this because she's white, and they're all like, look at the interviews. Are you talking interviews with Caitlin Clark, or are you talking the interviews with the people that don't like Caitlin Clark? Because if you look, any interview that Caitlin Clark has ever done, all she always wants to say is she wants her legacy to be remembered for changing the game. She doesn't want her legacy to be remembered for the records she set. She doesn't want her memories to be remembered for everything that she does. She wants her memories and her legacy to be keeping the dream alive for all these young people. And that alone right there is like something you don't hear from too many superstars nowadays. Like, she knows she's good, but she doesn't take the credit that a lot of these other superstars would take. It's always like her teammates first, and it's always like, yes, okay, I have all these records, but that's not what I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered for changing the way women's basketball was viewed and played.
No, I agree. I mean, and again, that's actually where I was going is when you hit that superstar area, it's some of that how you're conducting yourself off the court, right? And what it is you bring to the sport, stuff like that. But as far as Paul's comment there, she's getting it because she's white. Cameron Brink's white.
Yeah.
And she was third overall in NCAA women's scoring. So it's not like she was a scrub or anything like that. Like, people that don't like Clark, sure. They're looking for any reason to cut her down. It doesn't matter what it is.
I don't think it. I think the media is what's turning it into the whole Caitlin Clark's white type of thing.
Yeah.
But the people that don't like Caitlin Clark are just flat out jealous of her success and flat out jealous of what she's been able to bring to the WNBA table in just 2 months. When you've had women that have played the sport for 15 years that haven't been able to get what she's gotten.
One thing she might need to do is jump in the gym a little bit, because if she's going to get beat up like this, she's going to need to.
Well, that's going to come though, because you see that even with rookies in the NFL, rookies that come into the NBA, like they don't have the same kind of weight facilities in college that they do in the NBA. So yes, it is going to take her 2 years, maybe 3 years to put on the weight that she needs to, which I'm not worried about that. That's going to come with time, but it's just like, just seeing the shots that she takes.
Similar to Wemby, right?
Yeah.
Like he gets bodied around because he's tall, but he doesn't got a lot of weight to him. So
just some of the shots she's taking now, though, is just starting to get out of hand. And now it's getting to the point where you're showing that you don't like her, and you're trying to prove a point that I hate her and I don't want her to play with us.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is now the barbs are coming at your white and stuff like this instead of attacking her game, because if you look at her stats, they're not bad, especially for a rookie, right? So you can't really attack the game. So now you have to just try and find these little ancillary reasons to hate her rather than she's bad at basketball, right?
Yep.
But you can't say that. So now you're like, oh, well, it's because of this or it's because of this. It could just be because she's talented. I mean, you don't accidentally reset NCAA records
for no reason.
Like that's not how that works. Like you got to actually be kind of good at what it is you're doing.
Right.
A little bit good.
Just
yeah, you had to put the work in a little bit just to get to the level you're at. You had to put the work in a little bit. You don't just roll out of bed one day and say, I'm going to start shooting like Stephen Curry on the women's side.
I hear you. I tell you, sorry guys, I had to check out of that conversation. It was just, like I'm just, as much as I thought I was interested in talking about it,
you're not.
How many, when you travel, when do you pack?
Depends on how long I'm gone, I guess.
I'm going to be gone for 6 days, 5 really.
You're going to be gone. Okay. And you leave today?
In
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah, so I'd probably pack as soon as you get off the show. Is about when I would pack. Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of what I was looking at. And I'm like, well, damn, I gotta make sure I pack this. And I gotta pack this.
I usually start packing about 2 or 3 days before. So I'll check the weather like 2 or 3 days before. But then I'll also check the weather the night before, and then if the weather is the same, then I'll finish my packing the night before as like outside like bathroom and toiletry stuff.
So being a guy, I've learned that there are a few things that I do I do. Like I always pack like 2 pairs of jeans, although I only ever wear 1 pair of jeans.
Yeah.
I'll pack like 4 sets of shorts. I'll wear like 1, maybe 2 pair.
Yeah, and then you pack enough underwear to shit your pants the entire trip.
Exactly. Like 12 pairs of underwear. Because I'll usually like to take a shower in the morning and then a shower after I get done with painting myself up. And also it's, I gotta go through underwear all the time.
Yep.
So, but I'm like, it's funny. I lifted up my suitcase and I'm so used to traveling with shoulder pads.
Oh, it felt really light.
That it was light. And I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, I don't even have to extend the suitcase and undo the zip thing. So.
But yeah, no, for me, it is typically, and even if I was going to be gone for 10 days, similarly, it would be probably the morning, right? Or the night before if I have a morning flight. Right.
Yeah.
But I don't pack way ahead, whereas my wife is wildly different. She will start packing a month ahead of time.
Exactly. Yep.
During that month, she'll put stuff in and pull things out, and then I'm just like, what are we even doing? Like, when we get close, just throw the shit you want, and then let's keep it moving, right? So yeah, I basically pack a few hours before it is I'm going to leave, and whatever doesn't make it in the bag, I'm not going with.
Understood. Do you bring one of the neck pillows?
I don't.
On your flight, I would. Otherwise,
I'm thinking about it. I really am thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I might want to have one of those.
On your flight, I would.
Yeah, on that one.
Anything over a 5-hour flight, I would. Anything under a 5-hour flight, I would.
Yeah, it's a 7-hour flight, and I don't sleep on a plane typically, so I'm gonna have to work it out a little bit.
So no, you'll sleep on this one. The seats, you're gonna have really comfy seats. Any like overseas flight, you have a lot more leg room. You do have comfier seats because of the distance of travel.
When I'm flying, typically what I'll do is I will make sure that I have a tablet with some movies downloaded on it, and my phone with some games or whatever, because I don't sleep on a flight either. And so I'll just like watch movies or whatever, because I know I'm going to be awake and my wife's going to fall asleep.
And then I'm going to need to do like some stuff to stay awake over in London because we land at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that first night's going to be. You're going to sleep good. You're going to sleep.
You wait 30 minutes. Wait 30 minutes after you land. All the pubs open at 8 a.m. in London.
There you go.
Oh well, I'm going to have to go to the room and get myself together so that I can get all painted up, so that I can go to practice.
Yeah.
We're talking about practice, not a game. Not a game. Practice. In fact, that's why you're going to run the show tomorrow, Bo, because I'll be able to go live from practice.
That'll be
not
cool.
Not a game, but practice.
That'll be fun.
It should be fun. It's going to be a good time. I'm interested to see how this goes. Like I'm going to. And then tomorrow, while I'm all painted up, because I'm going to do the City Connect colors.
Okay.
Which is, the Friday colors, which is weird, in the grand scheme of things, but, it is what it is. And so, I'm let's do that. And I'm trying to figure out, do I take an edible before I go on the plane and sleeping pills to try to go to sleep on the plane, or?
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea just because you're getting there first thing in the morning. Try and get ahead of that jet lag.
Yeah, because it's going to be
a
long day.
You won't have any trouble sleeping. It'd be the jet lag thing that you have issues with when you get there in the morning. You won't have any trouble falling asleep with how late your flight is.
It's 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah,
No.
but the time change. Like once it gets to be, because you're getting there at what, 7:30 in the morning?
2:30 in the morning, my
2:30
time.
So, yeah, you'll fall asleep. You won't have any issues falling asleep. It'll be the whole just adjusting to that.
I take it
time
you sleep
change.
well on a plane.
No, I don't sleep on. I don't sleep on a plane. I never sleep on a plane. The only time I've ever slept is when I've taken my one international flight, and I didn't think I was gonna sleep at all. And within like 2.5 hours, you fall asleep, just because you know you're gonna be on this plane for a long time. You know you're gonna be. I mean, I shouldn't say that. You hope you're gonna be in the plane for a long time. You hope you're gonna be in the air for a long time. So you kind of just.
I mean, to be fair, if you're not, you're also asleep.
Yeah, so you're kind of like just settling in, like, okay, I'm gonna be on this thing for quite a while, and I just kind of like laid my head back and dozed off, and 3 hours later I woke up. So it's not as hard as you think it is to fall asleep on an international flight, just because you know you're gonna be in the air for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe.
let's hope that you're right, because as of right now, I am not thinking that.
Yeah. I would probably do the edible route, and just finesse it along a little bit, right? Like
Right.
maybe you will fall asleep, but you know how you definitely will is with a sleeping pill and an edible.
Right. And then, do you bring toilet paper to London?
I've never been, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
No idea. Although, so my parents did go to Britain, and they're in the comments. So did you have weird toilet paper issues in Britain?
It sounds hysterical, but I think it's a real thing.
They did not. So you do not have to bring toilet paper with you. Apparently, they have Charmin Ultra Soft over there too.
Well, they better, because I mean, the last time I went, I went with 3 rolls of toilet paper.
Only 3? Only 3?
I was there for 38 days. You know how that's when you start using like 3 squares.
Hey, if I know I'm gonna be somewhere that long, I'm buying dude wipes and saying F the toilet paper.
So, I mean, to be fair, 3 rolls makes total sense, because if you're packing enough underwear to shit your pants constantly, you got to clean yourself up.
Not for 38 days. You ain't packing 38 days worth of underwear.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But, all right, so I will not need to bring the toilet paper with me. Okay. I'm happy about that, because I think that just takes up space. And I would leave it behind, obviously. Be like, all right, here's my toilet paper. Oh, I didn't use it all. Okay.
Donations to the cause. Here you go. Yeah.
But it used to be that way. I remember that. So
I gotcha.
Well, listen, I am going to cut it a little bit short, because I do have to pack.
Yep.
It's been one of those days. But tomorrow, I will be on Bobby time. And like I said, I'm going to be going to the practice. If you guys can make it over there, I've got 3 extra tickets.
I feel like the notice is short.
I feel like the notice is short, and I know for a fact the closest airport I have to even get international travel is 4 hours away.
Yeah, I mean, I would leave out of SeaTac, but I would have a layover in either Newark or Toronto. Something like
Funny
that.
that you wouldn't go the other way. And truth of the matter is that my thought would be that you should your layover should be in Iceland, because it would be faster for you to go over the Arctic Circle to land in Iceland.
If I go to Iceland, then I would not make it. I would not
go. I'm right there with you. I would go to Iceland.
I would love to go to Iceland.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't go any further.
No, exactly. I would land there. I'd be like, well, you know what? Practice sounds cool, but I'm going to go explore.
Here I am in Iceland, Reykjavik. Yeah, I hear Reykjavik is it was one of those places that if I ever got married, that was going to be where I would do my bachelor party.
That'd be cool.
I hear Reykjavik is like out of this world.
Yeah, everything about the place sounds like it'd be a blast to go check out.
Yeah, blonde hair, blue eye women with big boobies. Sorry, Mom.
So you're trying not to still get married, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I'm not. I was about to get married, not anymore. Yeah, and I'm sure my girlfriend's probably watching this and saying, "Yeah, that was there. Yeah, she's a brunette." So
it's a good thing you're getting on a flight.
Exactly. I'm leaving on a jet plane.
Right. That is awesome.
Anyways, guys, everybody have a great night. I appreciate all the well wishes on my flight, and we will see you guys tomorrow as I will be front and center at the batting practice. You got to get there like very early.
Send me the pubs you're going to be at, and I'll try and see if I can get people to meet you out there. Other podcasters.
So I'm going to be at the Passyunk Avenue, and I want to say the main one or the first one. I think that might be the one. Or I'll text you.
Yeah, send me a text.
Yeah, so that I know for certain. Be like, yeah. Do phones work over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Okay. If not, I'm going to be doing a lot of Facebook Messenger. So again, it's been a long time since I have been overseas that way.
It might be a little expensive in terms of what you got to pay for like the overseas rates, but they work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There could be some data.
Yeah, like I think. Oh Christ! When I went on a cruise,
Wi-Fi, you jump on Wi-Fi, you'd be fine.
Well, yeah, if you just download WhatsApp, otherwise, because WhatsApp runs off of Wi-Fi, and you can still use your regular phone number, but it doesn't charge you the international fees then.
Yeah. I use WhatsApp whenever I'm in Mexico.
Yeah,
and I have WhatsApp as well for all the.
So you might as well just use that, because otherwise, I remember last time I went on a cruise, we went out towards like Italy and the Greek Isles and things like that, and it was like 75 cents a minute to use my phone. And then it was like over 50 cents every text message I sent. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this ain't worth it.
Yeah. Well, especially because WhatsApp does everything a normal text will do. So, I mean, really no reason not to use it. It's why it's used, whenever you travel, really.
Yeah.
Well, and that's as I just wanted to make sure I still had it. So, yes, I do. How about that?
There you go.
And nobody ever calls me on these things because all I get are Bitcoin announcements.
So many. You're in this group. Cool. Let me leave group.
You've been selected for this. Great. Now leave me alone.
Exactly. Can we unselect me? Perfect.
Can you mail this to my house before I give you my information? No? Okay, then unselect me.
Marcus red, lock chat, select all. I wanted to select, how do you delete them? You can't delete them, can you?
You can. You can.
It's annoying. It's annoying.
It is, because you have to leave the conversation, then you have to go out and delete it, and it's a little bit of a process, but you can get out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this sucks because these groups aren't even here.
Oh, you've changed phones. That's always fun too. If you change your phone, unless you have the settings set up where it backlogs all of your stuff, when you get into a new phone, it doesn't repopulate.
Yeah.
And so the group is there, but none of the information is.
Yep.
What a pain in the ass. This is like, you gotta, get out of all these chats.
WhatsApp is a very good app to use when you travel, like Bo said, but then it becomes a living nightmare, like when you switch phones or when you're trying to get out of chat. It makes it very difficult for you to do that.
Well, and if you switch phones, if you just go in and mess with the setting so it backs it up, then when you get the new phone, it'll repopulate. But if you don't do it, it's all blank.
Yeah.
I have made this mistake.
Yeah, I've used it only twice. I've used it when I went on a cruise, and then I used it when I was in Mexico. Otherwise, I always delete the app until I know I'm going somewhere where I'm going to need it. Because otherwise, I'll never use it.
Yeah, I always forget about it when I'm here stateside, with the exception of I have a couple of Canadian friends that's generally how they send me messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sucks. I hate this thing. So As I have to delete all of these friggin' groups that Bitcoin.
All of them.
Bitcoin.
They're all some sort of.
And you can't remove. It doesn't say remove from group.
Yeah, let's see. Jump in. Oh, StatGuy poofed. Well, I'll send you a message. I can walk you through kind of how.
I'm figuring it out now. So,
okay.
It's like saying, "Oh yeah, you." No, when you're part of a group that's no longer a group, it'll allow you to delete it, but I do not want to add group. No, pain in the ass. All right, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyways, everybody have a good one. Perfect. Everybody have a good one. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.